Hope you're enjoying the weather. Also hope you're enjoying the material as we work into now week 4 of our course. The updates for this week on our little video tutorial right now, I'm just going to walk you through some of the material. It's a little bit different this week, but no biggie. The biggest change this week is that we have just one narrated PowerPoint as opposed to 2, and taking the place of the other narrated PowerPoint is a documentary video on the Pax Romana, which is a term that I hope you're picking up in chapter 6, which means the peace of Rome, specifically in Latin, but it also means an entire couple of centuries in the early centuries of the Common Era, where Rome has completely dominated the Mediterranean region militarily and also culturally and economically, to where there's a relative age of peace, and they call that the Pax Romana. Now that video is linked on your website, and also there's a forum reaction linked to that Rome Engineering and Empire video, where they go over the importance and the power of 4, 5, I believe it's 5 Roman emperors. So do take notes on that. Link that, or use that, excuse me, as your lecture essentially on the Pax Romana. I think it's going to be more helpful than just going through some slides on that. So that's the forum reaction. Then we're going to move on to chapter 8, lesson 8, which is the medieval world. You're reading the entire chapter in your textbook on chapter 8. And then in your source book, which I have here, we're reading 3 of the sources. The first one is document 8-3 on Benedict of Nursia. You're going to read about St. Benedict's rule. Take some notes on that. And we use that as you work your way through the second part of chapter 8, which is where our submitted writing assignment comes from. And that video is on the Dark Ages, and why it's called the Dark Ages and all that stuff. Hopefully you'll pick up on that as you make your way through the material of chapter 8. But there's 3 things we're going to read in our source book. All right, you're also going to look at document 8-6, which is this one right here, on the Hagia Sophia. You're going to read about Justinian and the Emperor Justinian of the Byzantine Empire and how this came to be built. Now that, the Hagia Sophia, is linked to the Byzantine Empire documentary. So there's 3 videos this week that you'll be watching. One on the Pax Romana and Imperial Rome, one on the Byzantine Empire and the power of Justinian and the Byzantine Empire, which is going to be the eastern half of the former Roman Empire. And then the last video you'll be watching is the Dark Ages video documentary. So there's 3 videos this week on our schedule, which I think are going to be very helpful in kind of putting together all the pieces. It's like a chess game right now. You're just trying to figure out where all the pieces are in our world, in our early classical, moving into medieval world. All right, and then the last document you're going to be reading is document 8-7. Now this is a biographical look by a guy named Einhard, who was a personal biographer of Charlemagne. And this is linked to that Dark Ages video as well. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using the Dark Ages video is going to give you one look at Charlemagne. This source, Einhard, The Life of Charlemagne, document 8-7, is going to give you a little bit of a different look on Charlemagne and what he's all about. And then your writing assignment for that Dark Ages submitted paper assignment is kind of comparing and contrasting what Einhard is saying about Charlemagne and what the video is saying about Charlemagne. I want you to see if there's any differences or likenesses in that video comparison.